You gotta choose.
The folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Watson. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Browns at 7-5 now in the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
First carry for Nick Chubb. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. From the red zone now, Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. Touchdown, Browns! David Njoku, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Porter. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep. A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And they will only muster a yard here at the 38. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They go play action now. Jackson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try to match his athleticism.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Browns drive about to get started. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. They'll run with Dobbins. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. The carry here for the big tight end. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Dobbins. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
Now Dobbins again on second down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. first down. They'll run with Hunt. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And he fires one, but incomplete. Was that the incorrect read or just more an error on the throw by the quarterback?
I lean more towards the latter because it seemed like he was open there, just missed him on the throw.
And a tough one to miss because now you're dealing with a 4th down. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked to his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's an option play left. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. A solid chunk of 11 yards there on the keeper. But 4th down now.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. Throw right side, taken in by the tight end Bryant. They'll get it inside the 20. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Now Watson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the 1st down sack. Watson toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession. Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting.
Not even in the second half. We're in the second half, though, right?
better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable for Grant. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and...
Under pressure, they got him again. David Ojabo able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, the return is Prochet. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
From the 41, Jackson checks this down to Edwards out of the backfield. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Jackson from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside and buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here comes Grant on the return. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game, but why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. A big play that time for Cleveland. 43 yards. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Watson now to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
Well, it's pretty evident that's not the way you want to try and establish momentum ahead of a possible fourth-quarter comeback because you needed points there, at least something to build out for your next series. That was neither. Instead, it's a huge play for a defense that now has no doubt it can finish this game off.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Three quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Grant Delpit. Now he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go up the middle with Chubb. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch it and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Looking to throw. Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. So nothing doing there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second down and goal. Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. David Ojabo picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Jackson on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he... John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. So the challenge there not successful, and now they'll be left with only one timeout. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory.